Everyone knows Wednesday Addams, the pale girl with dark eyes and darker thoughts. But few have ever heard of the real Wednesday, buried deep in forgotten archives of Morris County, New Jersey. There are mentions of a child born on October 12, 1878. Her name was Wednesday Blackmore. Even for the 19th century, it was an unusual name. On the birth certificate, her mother had written in trembling ink, Wednesday, the day when darkness was born. The Blackmores lived in a large Victorian house on the edge of town. The father owned a textile factory. The mother was a well-known portrait artist. Their life appeared perfect until neighbors began writing strange notes in their journals. They said the girl hardly ever spoke. She would stand for hours at the window watching the garden, her eyes fixed on something invisible among the dead trees. At night, footsteps echoed from the basement. But when the servants went to look, it was empty. Wednesday liked to draw. She used charcoal on walls, floors, even furniture. Every drawing showed the same thing. A tall, dark figure with long arms and no face. When asked who it was, she simply said, "My friend." Her mother noticed she sometimes spoke to the mirror in the basement, the one no one else dared to look into. Then, in the winter of 1889, Wednesday vanished. The doors of the house were locked from the inside, and there were no signs of struggle. But in the basement, police found dozens of drawings, each more frantic than the last, and on every page, the same faceless shape standing among trees. A note lay on the table upstairs, written by her mother. He came for her. The Blackmore house was sealed. Years later, in the 1920s, a writer moved in, a man working on a book called The Family Chronicles of America. In his notebook, he wrote, "At night I hear a child laughing. Then footsteps, as if someone walks on the walls." He never finished his book. When they found him dead at his desk, a single drawing lay on the floor. A little girl in a black dress, standing beside a man with no face. In the 1940s, cartoonist Charles Addams gave an interview to Life magazine. He said, "Sometimes inspiration comes from old stories I read as a child." In his hands was a faded newspaper clipping from the late 1800s. The headline read, "The Blackmore Case. Child vanishes after night of storms." That page was never seen again. Today, the Blackmore house still stands, empty and silent. Its windows are boarded shut, but every October, locals say a single light appears in the upstairs window. On the glass, they claim to see the faint outline of a small hand. Police refuse to comment. Only one document remains in the archives: a yellowed piece of paper, scrawled in a child's handwriting. "I didn't die. I just never stopped being."